Welcome to the Emo Social Club podcast, broadcasting to you live from emosocialclub.tv. I am Brian.
And I'm Lizzie, and we're here with return guest and friend Carlo, all the way in Denver. Thanks so much for wanting to hang out with us again.
Of course. I feel honored to be a return guest.
We earned
hold
it.
Some weight on this show.
Yeah. We apparently did well enough the first time that you wanted to come back.
Had a good time. I remember it going by really fast, so that's a good thing.
We vibe, and sometimes the interviews just, it's like, oh, I can't believe an hour went by. We're just having a good time, you know? We don't even think about the audience. We're just like, no, we're just here, you know?
I'll make this really awkward and just not say anything.
Perfect.
Oh, no.
Perfect. Perfect hour.
Conversation.
Perfect audio.
The short answer guest.
Yeah.
Yes. No. Maybes.
Yeah. I do think that song is good. All right. Well.
And then
for anybody who may have missed your first episode and isn't going to go back and listen through the lore, which you should, get to know the emo social lore, get to know the car lore.
See, Brian was yelling at me all weekend about lore, but here we are.
Okay, but Lizzie was describing being like somebody's brother as lore. And I'm like, no,
yeah, because I had to go through the entire
lore.
thing of it.
That's your tree. It's like, you don't look at Game of Thrones lore and be like, oh, well, this character is that character's brother. And it's like, oh, that must be the lore. No, it's the story. It's the tale. Yeah, it's the lineage. Yeah, it's the lineage, Lizzie. The lineage. No. Car lore will be the only use of a pun I use.
The only pun of today.
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, why don't you
plus 5 points though?
Thank you. Why don't you reintroduce yourself to our audience and let them know who you are?
Hello world. My name's Carlo. I'm a musician currently living in Denver, but Chicago will always be home. If you guys caught the last episode, we were talking all about Chicago, my previous release, Kiss the Concrete. And we're here today, I think, to talk about my new single I have releasing this Saturday. And like Brian said, some more shit.
Yeah.
But mainly, I have a brand new single dropping this Saturday, as well as a music video. It's all about mental health and just kind of navigating a cruel, ugly world that and kind of have to navigate through. With that being said, so I guess we'll kind of unpack a little bit about that today and give you a little backstory with my own personal firsthand experience with my struggles with mental health. But today is kind of an important conversation I think that we're having because there are a lot of other people who struggle with similar situations or mental health as a whole. So I think that by having this type of dialogue, it's really important to kind of break down those stigmas and space where people feel comfortable discussing what they're going through. Thanks for tapping in. I promise it won't be too sad for anyone watching.
Listen, that's a part of the entire brand, partially.
Yeah, it's the brand.
For sure.
I mean, with a title like "If You Won't Push Me Off the Sledge," I'll probably jump anyways as your new single.
Nice and long, just
I feel
the early
perfect.
2000s pop punk.
Exactly.
Kind of tapping on just old, just kind of old trends, you know? Like, one of the things that I loved about the pop punk scene growing up was, bands would put out these songs with, like, it was like a full fucking chapter just to read the title. I thought it was hilarious, so I thought, with the kind of comeback of pop punk and seeing that push, with what's going on right now, it's kind of a good opportunity to capitalize. Bring it back a little bit. I know a lot of Midwest emo bands, they've kept that alive, but kind of bringing it back to, just what I've been doing. I feel like it was very fitting for single release. That title kind of encompasses the overall kind of aspect of depression and, again, what I had to go through. So feeling like you want to jump off of the edge, and that's how I felt. If anyone feels the same way, this one's for you.
It's been the year for it, I guess. It's been the couple years for it. Do you want to go into it, or I mean, I don't want to go too deep if you don't want to go too deep, but if you feel
we can cut all the way to the bone, my friend.
You know what? Let's get deep.
Just get right into it.
Let's swim to the bottom. You know,
all right. Everyone's got tissues ready.
Yeah,
we all have our tissues and our water bottles.
Yeah. Trigger warning. No, probably not.
Trigger warning. No.
Maybe, I don't know.
I hope not. I hope not. I hope
sadness.
I don't trigger anyone during this podcast.
Sadness.
Extreme sadness on the Emo Social Club today. Trigger warning.
Let's keep this kind of not too long-winded. But yeah, so for me, I grew up, I was adopted from the Philippines when I was 6 months old. And I was raised by a Italian-Ukrainian family. Raised in a white family as an Asian guy was kind of an interesting upbringing because I had to navigate my identity. And that was kind of a crossroads for a good part of my formative years because I didn't really know, like, where I fit in, like, socially. Even though I kind of project with this white privilege, I don't look that on the surface, you know. So that caused a lot of kind of emotional turmoil and kind of detachment in my relationships. And I think that being a direct byproduct of being adopted only made kind of figuring out who I was that much more difficult. So that was kind of the crux of where I kind of felt the disconnect from the world around me and trying to figure out who I was with my identity, that it was so easy to fall victim into like depression and anxiety. And that came on so quick when I was a teenager, that, you know, up until kind of like my mid-20s, my depression was just a constant battle. You know, and I'm somebody who, excuse me, I'm somebody who I'm really good at putting on a happy face for others. I'm one of those people who I can project that I'm really happy, and on the inside I'm fucking dying. You know, so this kind of identity crisis that I had to experience in my early teenage years up until my mid-20s. It was just something that was very difficult, and at one point I was having suicidal thoughts, and luckily I had a support system in my family and my friends where I was able to seek out professional help. We've gone through like 6-7 different therapists to try and get my head right, get my head in the right space that I needed to be moving forward. But yeah, that's kind of the short of the long of it, I guess. It's very rooted in my own personal identity and kind of that journey of trying to figure out, like, who the fuck am I? You know? So
I definitely feel too that because you are somebody who is like adopted, that's like not a story that we hear very much told, especially like in our subculture, because you have all these different areas, but then you kind of have this other area. It's like, yes, I was adopted and I have, you know, thankfully you do have like a very supporting family, but it's like, oh, there's a lot of other things that like come into the circle when it comes to you like finding yourself. And even so, like, I randomly get on like TikToks that talk about like adoption, and I don't know why, because I'm not adopted, but it's like all these different things that like go down like the lists of what people who are adopted and who are also like interracially adopted like have to go through. And it seems like incredibly, like, there's certain things that, like, if you aren't it, you can't absolutely begin to fathom or understand it. You can only have an outsider perspective. And that's something that I can definitely be like, I get it, I understand it, and I can research and observe it, but I could never understand, like, that feeling specifically.
Mm-hmm. And that's kind of, you know, where I would love to be an ally to somebody who can't imagine walking into those shoes and say, hey, look, this is my story to kind of help you understand a little bit more, since, you know, you might not be able to see both sides of the fence. Like, I would love to be that person to kind of share my story to help you understand that not only am I in this niche of the alternative kind of emo pop punk community, but like I've had to deal with my own personal identity and finding my person on top of that. So not only do I feel like an outcast to begin with, but I have to find my footing before I can even stand on any ground. So I think it touches on a few different spaces rather than it being, just having to navigate through the fact that I am adopted. But on top of that, it was difficult to try and figure that all out. And I think that's something that I'll carry with myself my entire life is, trying to keep figuring that out, because I think it does adapt and change as I do get older.
Yeah, I mean, our alternative scene is frighteningly white, and I'm not doing anything to help it. But it's nice that like there is more of this diversity in both, having more people of different genders and people of color and just different backgrounds and different experiences, just being able to make music, because there are a lot of people who are more upset than just like, my parents didn't give me the PlayStation, so I'm real sad now, and high school was really tough. It's like, dude, I'm fucking 35 and like I'm still feeling shit, It's
but you're allowed to.
Yeah, and it's making it like we all have an experience in many different ways. It will be shared with somebody. Like there's somebody out there who feels similar or relates to your experience, and it's like, yeah, we need that diversity of different people's experiences so that we know that, like, I mean, Gerard Way doesn't have all of my, my feelings wrapped up in all of his music. I need somebody else. I need something else there to go, yeah, man, when you said that, I felt that.
I think it's cool to see the genre diversifying while we're on the topic of, like, always shout out the boys Action Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the homies forever and always. But like, since you guys are on TikTok, seeing a band like Magnolia Park blow up on the platform, like, that's fucking awesome. That's really cool that we're seeing representation. But to kind of backtrack on what you said, it's also not your fault. Don't blame yourself for feeling like, hey, I'm white in a predominantly white scene and a genre. That's cool. That's also totally fine, for the same reason why we also need to diversify. So, because I've also heard that a lot too, where it's like, oh, well, I am this cisgender white male, and there is kind of a little bit of guilt in saying that with the way that you say it, but it's like, but that's who you fucking are, So there's no.
Yeah, no, I have the normal amount of white guilt, and I believe that I should go through life with that, and it makes me more humble and understanding. It's like, nah, just, that's you, be that. And it's like, yeah. All right.
I could be that.
And understanding like I'm closer to people who don't look like me than I am to a lot of people that do look like me, or have similar experiences with people who are from different backgrounds than me, than, all the people that like I would have grown up with or live in the same communities with, or that it's like, not quite this, I'm trying to branch out and learn about other experiences, and everybody else is like, I just don't ever want to leave my town. It's like, all right, pop punk. I'm more emo.
Yeah,
they're more pop punk,
We're different.
We're different. We are not the same.
Dude, pop punk kids, they want to get out of their hometown. The emo kids are just sad in their home.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're sad because they can't leave the hometown.
Change, right? That's the difference between a pop punk kid and an emo kid.
Yeah. We are not the same.
No, not the same.
But then you have the pop punk kids who's like, I hate my town, and then they come back and they move back to the town. They're like, I guess it's okay, and it's like,
and then they marry a girl there, have a bunch of kids, buy a house, die there.
That's all that Soupy ever wanted.
Yeah. Look, the older I get, the more I'm just like, now hold on, it may not be the worst idea.
Oh no.
Houses are cheaper in the suburbs. Could get a lawn, have a yard,
get a whole lawn.
Yeah.
I'll chime in and say I miss having a lawn. I miss mowing my lawn. That was one of my favorite things growing up. So
that is
I can't 100%.
That's a real
hate
strong
on the
statement to say.
It's a very dad statement.
Oh,
Did you have the Nikes
energy.
ready to go?
My dad had 3 by our sliding glass door. I swear to God. I swear. And it wasn't the Nikes. It's the all white New Balances.
Yeah,
that give
I was gonna say it's got to be the all white New
plus
Balance.
10.
Why do you wear white New Balance to go cut the grass to just get them green? Is it just so you see that like you've done something today? It's like my shoes look like this so that your lawn can look like this. Is that the?
Oh my God!
Is that what it is?
It's the dad equivalent to my hands look like this.
Like,
her
why? You could buy green
like
shoes. You could buy black shoes. You could buy like any other color.
He's going for practicality. What's comfy on his feet?
This is going
because
for
they're like $50 at Payless, and my
Rip
mom
Payless.
can get him multiple pairs that she knows that he's gonna go through.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane that it was like, no, it's white New Balance. Like, fuck.
Yeah, I told you it wasn't going to be all sad today. So
there we go.
There's some brightness.
Now I know when both of you guys move into a place with a lawn, that is going to be both of your presents are white New Balances.
I feel like,
I shit you not, I almost bought a pair like a year ago. just to
feel something.
I don't know, with the rise of like dad shoes that happened, I feel like a few years ago, like that was about it.
Yeah.
Fuck it, why not?
I got a pair of Crocs living in this pandemic, more isolating. I don't like going outside anyway, so it kind of works out.
He still doesn't.
I still don't. But I bought a pair of Crocs, and I gotta say, like, game changing, life changing. I have never felt so comfortable. And everybody's like making fun of me for it, and I'm like, you guys sound like you are jealous and your feet hurt. Like, just get over it. Buy some Crocs. Have a good time. So good. Buy dad shoes. This is my ad for New Balance.
Listen, they have dad shorts and dad pants for like women now, and I look at them and I'm like, these fit terribly. Who wants these?
They make dad whatever.
Yeah. People want comfort.
But the dad, I have very strong dad jeans, thanks to my
dad jeans. Not mom jeans, it's dad jeans now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's definitely already pop up somewhere.
Dad jeans.
Dad jeans.
I say this to you because it's just your name and it's only one word. Got to stop using these 2-word band names of just like double nouns. I have no idea what's going on and I can't tell them apart.
What do you mean?
Like mom
just
jeans.
Like double noun.
Well, and we are friends with
just
the band
friends.
Save Face, so I'm not by any means talking shit about them because they are not like everybody else. But Mom Jeans throws me off, and so does Origami Angel, and it's
but they're so good though.
They're so good.
I am not commenting about their
good.
music. I'm almost exclusively commenting about their name. I'm like,
it's literally.
Show,
yes, we did.
Yeah, we did.
I went to the one in Denver.
We also went to their because Safe Face and Origami Angel were on tour with Mom Jeans separately. So we like saw the basically same lineup twice. And I was like,
I almost died going to that show because Denver, it decided to dump like 14 inches
of
that show.
Hell yeah.
And I think I paid like $35 for an Uber just to get, like, the venue was like maybe 2 miles away from my house here. And it was, I paid up the shitter to take a car to the show, and I almost died on the way there. So
was it a good show?
I only got there for the Wonder Years because I got like stupid high before the show and realized that like if I don't leave now, I'm not gonna make this show. So sadly, I did miss Origami Angel and Safe Face, which I wanted to see both of them. But no, I did catch the Wonder Years set.
Yeah,
great tour. I'm glad they did that.
That night, Nina had me going down to Cobra Lounge because I left early because I wanted to see the openers mainly, and then I saw Bearings in between you and me, and then ended up at Nina's and Alex's DJ set, House of Blues. It was a very chaotic and great night.
You gotta live life on the edge a little
3
bit.
gigs one night. Let's go.
She's in the chat.
do it
like,
again.
What I do?
Like,
Oh God.
What I do? No, it was just that. It was just it was a really
had a great
chaotic
time.
night.
Yeah.
Because I got in there and I started crowd surfing, and then people didn't know how to hold people up. And then between you and me's tour manager saved me from being yeeted into the speakers.
That's good.
I was like, thank you, my
The
guy.
speakers doesn't sound very fun.
No.
Yeah. It's a show. Gotta do what you gotta do.
I've been in a knocked loose pit. Being yeeted into the speakers isn't terrifying.
Yeah.
Oof. I feel like a knock loose pit in general is terrifying. As good as they are, I feel like it's terrifying.
I haven't been in one since like 2015. I'm just getting too old. The bones
Yeah.
hurt.
I've been staying safe.
The bones are hurting the morning after. I'm good.
When people tell
Yeah,
you to
if you
stay
wanna know-
safe, they mean don't go in a knocked loose pit.
Yeah. If you want to know what a real body hangover feels like, go into a knocked loose pit and then don't take any Advil before you go to sleep. You'll wake up and that's what it feels like.
I don't want that at all.
No, that
Exactly.
sounds.
I'd rather not.
No, I feel like I get like my body hangover happens if when I am in any pit and I immediately eat shit in the pit, and then that's it. It's like, yeah, I know I'm gonna hurt tomorrow morning.
I just stay away from them.
Just stay home, man. Or just stay in the back. Only go to CRLO shows. That's what I'm going to say.
I'm trying to. So that's a fun update. We could segue on that, but
Yeah.
hopefully we'll start to gig out soon. I've been putting together a live band the last few months out here with some really, really talented guys. So hopefully you can see some shows. We can hit the road and maybe play a show in Chicago within the next few months.
Yes.
But yeah, we've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes, which I'm really stoked about. And hopefully, I mean, I've stepped on stage since 2020, I think, like February, and then everything shut down, and I have not played a show since. And I'm starting to go stir crazy a little bit, but you know, that's what COVID does to you.
Yep. If you could rate the body hangover, or as I've heard it called, the bangover. If you could rate the bangover from a CRLO show, how would you rate the bangover after a CRLO show?
Like for someone in the audience or for myself personally?
You know, I assume that if your bangover was really bad, then theirs would be too. Like I'd kind of rate it like a bit of both, you know?
Well, we haven't really played a show with any of the material that I've released within the last year. So I think that it's kind of like a NA, not applicable for the bangover at the moment. I would hope it would be high. I hope you would come to my show and, you know, maybe mosh a little bit or jump off the stage, do a little stage diving, but you know, only time will tell. I'm going to say high, 10 out of 10 if possible, 12 out of 10.
12 out of 10.
It's 12 out of 10. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens. I'm very excited though. We got maybe a couple of potential shows. I'll keep it mum's the word for the time being, but
just a small
that
tease.
is on the horizon.
A tiny tease.
Tiny tease.
Yeah.
Just the tip.
Just
Just the tip. Just the tip tease.
oh my god.
Nina's having a moment in the chat describing if
she?
bangover is appropriate or not, and now it's just like, it's just the tip. It's like, you know what? It's fine. If you're having a good time at a show, it's
Is that like a
consent.
shirt or a pin we'll have to make? This is bangover along with bangers only. Oh my god.
I think bangover is a great word, and I'm kind of sad that I just kind of put that together tonight with you. So I'm gonna start using that.
Everything's got a bangover shirts, Nina.
Bangover shirts, yeah. It's
Because it can be applied to a one-night stand. It can be applied to a great night with your lover, but it can also apply to an awesome show where you just
and just
up and
being
up.
really old and tired, you know. It's just like
And no one would ever know.
Word.
If anything, the general public be like, "Oh, that person, they're a player. They know what they're doing." It's like, no, I just got beaten the fuck up last night in this pit. And they're gonna be like,
Really
"No, I
bad
know what you
bangover.
are."
show. Dude. It also, to me, it just sounds like a breakfast food of like sausages, and it's like when you're when you're like hungover and you just want to eat like, you know, like a massive breakfast platter from like a Denny's or something, and you're like, I'll get the Bangover, and it's like, you know, eggs and sausage and a couple of pieces of toast. I think that in my old age, I'm also, yeah, like now in my old age, I'm more like, yo, like show mosh pit. That sounds fun. But like, if you ever had like a good breakfast, dude,
you're kind of like the Denny's, like the silver sneaker menu now.
I don't go to Denny's.
Yeah.
I would just put it out there.
Yeah. No.
I'm going to IHOP.
IHOP. Okay.
IHOP is king.
Yeah, I'm a IHOP man.
Yeah.
Food's better. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
To each their own, though. So if you're watching and you like Denny's, like what you like.
Yeah.
Not for Carlo.
You can still go, but catch Carlo at the IHOP.
At the young
catch me at the
IHOP.
IHOP.
CRLO at the IHOP.
Fuck.
Nina says Waffle House.
24/7
Waffle House.
Yeah. I do think that it's about availability. If you're a touring artist or somebody that goes on tours, like it's definitely availability. And Waffle House is one of those things where it's like, you're very available and let's go to Waffle House.
Well, it's because they're open 24/7. They never
24/7
close.
like a Waffle House.
And it's guaranteed that you're going to have an interesting time. So
you'll probably see one or two fights. If you're of color like I am, be prepared for someone to possibly say some racist shit to you.
Or just ask like very pointed questions where you're like, I just want coffee.
You can just come out and say it.
Because like at this point, you can just be like, is this it's like one of that TikTok sounds like, I'd rather you just call me a slur. And it's just like, you know what? Just why are we beating around the bush? Let's just fight.
Ain't that the truth? Say it how it is.
Are we both mad at people for saying the quiet part out loud and then also asking them to say the quiet part out loud so we can beat them up?
Really, it comes to the point where you just shouldn't be saying or thinking it. Otherwise, you're just going to have a bad time with the outcome, the consequence.
Yep. Social conditioning. If you punch somebody at a Waffle House, they'll check themselves out.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just don't be racist.
Just don't be racist.
Literally, and you won't have to get fought.
Yeah. If you catch any of us at a Waffle House, we are ready to fight you. If you say something out of turn, we will. Yeah. We will.
You talk out of pocket. I'm about to lace up my Dad New Balances. I'm coming.
Oh my god,
dude!
Let's go.
My Dad New Balances with the matching leopard print pants.
Do you guys like these pants? My
girlfriend
those are
bought them for me. Awesome.
Those are cool.
Yeah, no, they're tight.
A little break them out. A little sneak preview.
Oh,
actually, I'm flying out on Thursday. I'm headed out to LA. Quick plug, shooting a new music video coming out also, TBA, for another song, but you will see these making a cameo. So here's your sneak preview.
There we go. Don't break anything
for fashion. Speaking of music video, you do have one coming out this weekend as well. Do you want to talk? It's for the single, but do you want to talk a little bit about that as a tease as well?
Of course, I would love to. So in this video, not to give too much away, but again to kind of coincide with the whole mental health thing, it's how do I do this without not giving it away for the narrative?
No Marvel movie spoilers.
Yeah, long story short, you're gonna see me attempt to visually capture an overdose throughout the narrative in the music video. One of the things that I kind of struggled with my mental health was substance abuse. It was a big kind of obstacle that I was able to overcome. It was kind of my coping mechanism. I know that people who do struggle with mental health have all different types of coping mechanisms, but substance abuse was definitely mine, and I can victoriously say that I have overcome that now at 27. But yeah, the music video is going to be super. I just got the second to final cut. We're kind of doing it on a short time frame. It'll be up in time, I promise. My editor is currently on tour while he's doing this, so shout out Lars for doing this on the road. Big love. But yeah, it's kind of a cool music video in the sense that he made it look really sweet. Made me look like a rock star. But yeah, it's kind of shows me overdosing, because that was my way of kind of seeking escape and seeking it out, as heard in the lyrics as well. I don't know if you guys got the private link
yes.
to the single. But yeah, just kind of that was my way of getting out of what I was going through. And I was a very, very stubborn person, and also I sought oblivion, and I didn't really give a fuck what anyone tried to tell me to help. And it was, yeah, I didn't care if I overdosed. I didn't care if I lived. I didn't care if I died. And for anyone who feels like they're in that place where they do seek oblivion like I did, just know that it does get better. And that's kind of the high point at the end of the video that you're going to kind of see, is that this is a fight worth fighting for. And you can get through it, and it does sound cliche, but it will get better only if you believe that it will get better. And it's really hard to kind of find that needle in the haystack when your head's just not in it. So kind of listen and take some advice from the people who are trying to help you, because I was at a point where I was drinking a bottle of whiskey and doing Xanax, trying to just numb everything that I was trying to feel and then not feel at the same time. So kind of going through the ringer myself. Again, this video, as you do watch it, just realize that, actually, not to sidetrack, but I actually got yelled at by my mom when I pitched her the concept. She's like, "Oh, what's the music video about?" And I was like, "Well, it's not gonna be something that you're probably into." Mm-hmm. And she brought up the point of, why would you want to visually convey an overdose to somebody who is in the same place as you, if they also are abusing drugs and alcohol? And my response to that, and she had a good point, but my response to that was, as an artist, if I'm going to use my voice and my artistic passion to say something and have a message behind my brand, I'm not going to tiptoe around what needs to be spoken about. I'm not going to tiptoe around, the struggles and the addiction that I went through. Because for me personally, if I had kind of had someone who had that same message that I could read, I feel like that would have given me a little bit of that solace to say, like, I see you're going through the same shit. I feel that. Like, just having that relatable aspect to it. But yeah, with my music video, it's like, listen, I don't want to shy away from any of that, because that is what I went through, like, that is real life. And if you feel that kind of way, like, this is for you. So trying to speak truths instead of sugarcoating or keeping it light for the sake of it. You know what I mean?
Mm. Do you also feel that in a way, if you show like the reality as much as you can in a music video with this reality factor of what can happen if you are abusing these substances so much, like this will eventually happen? Now, I know we don't want to do like scare tactics towards people, but would that also be possibly something that you considered or thought of while in this process of decision making?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I think that, as I was kind of writing the treatment and coming up with the concept, like, how realistic and how honest can I be without going too far? So that was a fine line that I was trying to walk to, is, I don't want to push the envelope too far. And obviously scare tactics are not always necessary or beneficial for that matter. But again, I'm not going to shy away from what I had to live. I'm not going to pretend I wore a different pair of shoes or walked a different path. And, I am me, and I'm going to present that. And like I told you, like, I'm an open book, and I'm more than happy to share my story. But when it comes down to the decision making of how far can I push this, I want to keep it as true to me and my experiences as possible.
Yeah, and like we're saying too, is like, if there is somebody out there who, like, for me, and I kind of realized this more recently of just like, you know, when you kind of grow up and you see these ugly things and like the ugly side of these things, sometimes it like pushes you away. Like I personally have never done anything besides drink, currently having a beer. Cheers. But, like it's like, I even pushed that away. Cause I was like, yeah, I just see the ugliness of it. You know, addiction, alcoholics in my family and like all that. And you're like, yeah, I need to see the ugliness to go, I don't want that. And if you can see like, oh, well, I'm not like that. And then you turn around and look at yourself and you're like, oh shit, I am like that. And you can relate to what you're seeing on screen. I do think that helps to kind of break the whatever it is, break the veil, pierce the veil. No, break.
Oh my God.
It'll break down that
today,
wall.
huh?
Look,
He's got puns for days.
It's what I'm about.
Have you talked to other people today, Brian?
Have you had human interaction yet today?
No.
That's why it's all here right now.
No, I've been saving it up.
out.
Yeah, I got it all for tonight. No, I think it's like this like watching back through like a lot of like emo music videos and stuff. It's like, whoa, you're like kind of like putting some hard stuff on the screen right now. But it's like, well, if that's what I grew up with, like that helps to show you like what like the Used went through, what Burt McCracken went through with his addictions. And it's like, I can see how he is putting it into art and I can see how it affected him. And I can, you know, internalize that struggle and say, I don't want to be that way. And if you're already in it, you can go, oh, I need to, you know, seek some support in that way.
Yeah, I mean, if I can, with this video, kind of provide that mirror for someone to look into and say, whoa, this is kind of like a reality check for me, then, I mean, by all means, I feel like that's a job well done. But, you know, in no way, shape, or form am I trying to normalize or glamorize substance abuse as a way to say, you know, I'm feeling fucking depressed today. Let me seek an escape by doing X, Y, and Z. Or, you know what I mean? It's just, I want, like you said, and beautifully put, but if this is an opportunity for someone to recognize their behaviors and their actions to better themselves down the line, then I think that's an awesome byproduct of having that visual of a music video. Because again, I want to keep it as real as possible. I want to kind of show what reality can be if you let it get to that point. And by no means would I ever want someone else to have to experience what I had to experience. So this is my way of kind of putting out, like, don't walk the same path that I. Not great. Luckily, I kind of came out on top, but here's what it could be if you let it get that bad. So, yeah.
A much more effective version of Dare in the year 2022.
Have you considered
Beyond Scared Straight Emo Edition?
Yeah.
Oh no.
My brain immediately went to Dare is 4 letters. CRLO is 4 letters. You gotta stop doing that. You gotta stop letting my brain run to that, you know?
Oh, you just came up with a great merch design.
I sure did.
We're gonna table that.
Better do it.
Man.
Write it down. Write it down. I don't want you to lose that.
Yeah.
It's to keep it like, oh, dude, CRLO, but in the Dare font. That'd be so good.
You're giving me some good marketing ideas.
You're welcome. Keep them.
Then you have to think
them.
if you want to use the little lion guy or if you're just going to make it a leopard to go with the pants.
Interesting. I don't know why every time we like have an interview and we're just sitting here, it's like, yo, this would be a cool marketing idea. And it's like, dude, we're just talking, but all of a sudden we're like just popping off ideas that are like, yeah, no, we got to do this. This needs to happen.
As the artist, I mean, it's great. This is a great workshop. Thank you guys for coming today.
Yeah, this has been a beautiful TED Talk.
Post interview notes, and Word document and all.
Yeah. Please send me a Word document.
With the whole rundown.
Yeah, please don't send me a Word document.
Don't worry.
Yeah, I guess just one more thing I want to add with that is I did find a very I was listening to this interview with Nothing Nowhere, Joe. I don't know. Can't ever say
His name
Joe
is
from
Joe.
Nothing Nowhere. It's like it's just nothing.
It's
nowhere.
Mr. Nothing Nowhere.
It's Mr. Nowhere.
Mr. Nothing Nowhere.
And
Sir Nowhere.
Sir Nowhere of the Nothing. First of his name. I just found it really interesting when he was like, he basically was like, you know, substance abusing, and he's like, I just at a certain point said, like, God damn, I just really want to stop feeling this way. And like just had this moment of just like, I don't want to feel this anymore. Like, and I have to do something about it to stop feeling this way. And for him, it was like meditation and stuff. He was talking with Finn McKenty and they were having their discussion about it. And I was like, yeah, okay. And then I downloaded Headspace and I'm like, yeah, all right. And then I went to therapy and I was like, okay, no, I prefer that.
It's all coming together.
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, when you are in those moments, it's like, you kind of just need that thing to like shock your system and go, yeah, I just really don't like this. This sucks. I don't want to do this anymore. And it's like, okay, now we can start this healing process.
I think that everyone who kind of struggles with any form of mental health, it just, for me, I just, like you said, I reached a point where I was sick of waking up and just feeling like shit, day in, day out, and just faking being happy for other people, because I didn't want the pity, I didn't want the empathy, I didn't want the, you know, oh, well, I didn't want all that. So, you know, a big turning point was also ending a relationship that ran its course years before and was just getting played out. So once that kind of ended, which kind of stems back to the whole adoption thing, is that, you know, I experienced loss in my relationships very deep, because I never had a mother. I was born directly into an orphanage. I didn't breastfeed off mom, and what I learned through therapy is that, you know, not all babies breastfeed, but just having that intimate touch between the birth mother and the baby, there's some kind of emotional connection that can occur. So having the lack thereof, I think, carried and still carries into the relationships that I experience today, because I love so deep and I emotionally invest so much into the people that I choose to care about. So ending that relationship and then feeling that loss on top of dealing with depression, suicidal thoughts, was kind of that rock bottom moment of, well, I've been battling these demons for years. I've had this back and forth game of ping pong between feeling moderately okay and wanting some kind of end. So for me, just ending that relationship and then realizing I want to win this fight and I want to get better, it's kind of the turning point that I'll to get the help that I needed and then start growing past it, learning the tools so I never had to go back. And that's a big part of what I also want to kind of push with my agenda, is that, you know, it's one thing to fight and win the fight, but realize that you might get thrown back into it. You know, just because it's over doesn't mean that it's over. Might be over now, but it can come back and bite you in the ass. And there's been a couple times where, especially with COVID and everyone getting locked down, I know a ton of my fucking friends all of a sudden slipped into this COVID depression of, you know, I can't go anywhere, everything's shut down, I can't see people, like, and it gave everyone time to kind of realize, like, all right, what am I doing with my life? So it was also like the COVID depression on top of it.
Yeah, it's a rough time.
Yeah. I mean, like, going back to kind of like the attachment thing, it's like there is like psychological research of like the different attachment styles. So there's 4. There's like authoritative, anxious, adaptive, and I forget what the other one was, but basically,
I should know this. I was a psych major for 4 years.
Let's go. I almost got an accidental minor in psychology because I just kept taking classes because I thought they were fun. But when you have those things, and, you know, especially when you're like a baby, a whole ass baby, and you're just kind of like shoved away for like 6 months until somebody does adopt you out. And then you have to, you know, even though people don't think like, oh, you're a baby, like you don't remember, there's so much more that goes into it in the way that you react in those moments to things. So it's like, if you had to self-soothe yourself, which means like, your parents didn't come or nobody came and like, helped you calm down, you will take that into the rest of your life. And same thing with, well, if your parents were very flaky or avoidant in certain things, like they weren't always there for whatever reason, that carries on, and which creates attachment style issues as well. So those things can come out, especially like when you work in therapy and you do all those things as well. It's like, it's always going to be there because that is something that is inherently now like instilled into you. And it's very, very difficult to break those cycles because there are times you will kind of relapse into those phases just because it's ingrained within you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, again, hats off to mom and dad. But I was raised in a very supportive. It was me, my mom, dad, and sister, and I was at every single game my sister was a cheerleader at, and they always came to whatever games I was playing or concerts that, so I had a very, very supportive, loving, caring support system. But again, I think going back to the inception of when I was born in the Philippines, the few months that I might have not had that attention, that said, like you keep that with you, So as I've gotten older, it's something that I'm like hyper aware of, and have been able to navigate around that, knowing that that's something that I will always carry with.
This has been the Emo Psychology Club. How can
none of us are certified psychologists.
No.
One of us has the degree, and that's Carlo.
Yeah.
There we go. Halfway there.
I was a theater major anyway.
I don't know. I'm a mandatory reporter, so I kind of know some things. I can't do that much, though, for you.
All right, we put all three brains together, and we just
mega mind energy.
Yeah, we'll be a doctor. Together, we all have a doctorate.
No.
We get our letters, yeah.
Yeah.
All three coming together.
With the old powers combined, I can diagnose
anyone.
Fantastic. Lizzie wrote a bunch of notes here. I'm going to read this because I'm curious of how your opinions may have changed in the past time since the last interview. Lizzie wrote that you've gotten more anti-MGK recently.
Woohoo!
Let's get
I've been
spicy.
seeing your TikToks, which you have blown up on TikTok, so we also love to see that.
We got a little following.
It
hit me at the beginning of the year though that Instagram is a dying platform, and TikTok, if you are an artist or really just anybody who wants to share cool shit, like TikTok is the number one platform. No, nothing else stands up next to it right now. But I was like, I'm an idiot. I can make some videos. Why not? So yeah, I started my TikTok up in like the end of February, I want to say, where I was like, let me actually try and like post some content. And yeah, I have no idea what happened. But I got, I think I'm just shy of like 20,000 followers right now. So if you're watching, please go follow me on TikTok at CRLO, CRLO _. There's a plug for that.
There we go.
Please go follow.
Yeah, back to the
20K.
Back to the MGK thing.
All right.
And I'm gonna keep this brief.
Make it spicy.
I was out drinking Saturday night, and we had this conversation with like, it was one guy who's toured in like emo alternative bands, and this my other friend, and he plays like covers like at bars and stuff like that. So he's not really in the scene, so he doesn't really get it. So it was kind of like this educational conversation of why people don't like MGK. It's not that I respect what he's done, and I think that he has revived pop punk to a certain degree for the mainstream. People who would otherwise not listen to the genre are now listening to it. Super cool. Space where everyone should feel included. What I don't like about that is allowing people to wave the flag in our face that also called us the outcasts, that also bullied us growing up because of the music that we listened to. So he's also opened that gateway for the hypocrites to kind of wave the same flag when, personally, I don't think that that should be allowed. Not to gatekeep, because gatekeep it. But, you know, I've been listening to pop punk, like the first two bands I ever listened to, Metallica and Good Charlotte. Like, I listened to Good Charlotte's record, like Young and the Hopeless came out when I was like 7. And that's, you know, what kind of led me into the whole genre. But yeah, after Tickets to My Downfall, it just kind of I don't know. But that was just me. It kind of came and went really fast. And I also just didn't like the whole genre hop, claiming to be like the pop punk pariah and trying to speak to all these kids when you were arguably a rapper your entire career. Now that you're genre hopping, you want to try to preach to the audience that really doesn't like you, is where I'm coming from. So again, and I've posted on the TikToks too, like what you like. If you listen to MGK and you fuck with his sound or you fuck with his image or his brand, by all means, who the fuck am I to tell you don't listen to him? So at the end of the day, I know it's not my cup of tea, but I respect what you've done for the industry and the genre, but I don't fuck with you.
I think that's like a fair stance
it's very
to
fair.
take.
Like, it's not a like, there's a lot of gray area about liking MGK and being a pop punk or emo kid in 2022. Like, it's not just like like, no, you can't like MGK, or, oh, I love MGK and I think all the haters need to shut up. It's like, no, you can like I always say, I love Tickets to My Downfall. If anybody else was playing it, I'd probably like it even more, but the album is good. I enjoy the album. I enjoy some of the songs off the new record, but I've never enjoyed MGK. MGK is just the vessel that gets us there, the catalyst to making this pop punk thing. And he had the money and the energy behind him to make it a bigger thing. And Travis Barker, of course. And the fact that it's like not black and white, I think, is where everybody like kind of gets into that confusion. They're like, well, I love the idea that he could do this, and I love the idea that he got more people into this. But similar to you, like when I was in high school, I started listening to The Used and My Chem, and then I had all the popular kids who never wanted anything to do with me all of a sudden like, yo, do you like this band Fall Out Boy? And I'm like, no, I don't. Fucking don't. Yeah. I hate them. Yeah. New Found Glory sucks too. All I like is My Chem and the sad shit. Come at me, bro. Which was 100% something I said at that time. But
we've all said edgy, cringy things before in our
yeah. No, fair. I mean, on this pod, I think I've said like 3 or 4. So I 100% understand that, because it's like I'm not trying to gatekeep. Like, I want you to like what you like, but at the same time, I'm seeing it from a different perspective than somebody who just got into pop punk through MGK, through, you know, Jaden, through these other artists that are doing the pop punk sound now. It's like, yeah, there's like this little bit of like hesitation to trust them, hesitation of like, is this going to stick with you, or is this a passing fad for you? Whereas it's been a lifestyle for me. My hands look like this so that your hands can look like this. It all comes back around.
With the MGK nail polish that you have.
Which I have.
He does.
Did you buy it?
Yeah, I was like, you know,
what?
Sent it
it's
to
being
him. Advertised to me, whatever. Yeah. I mean, I can buy it anywhere. I was just like, whatever.
Is it good nail polish though, or does it eat your nails? Because I feel like
it works for me. Like, I've bought a lot of cheap nail polish in my time, and it's better than that because I don't paint my nails all the time. I was also like going through rounds of interviews for a job and wasn't painting my nails just in case I had to be like on a call. Fair. And it's like, hey, but now I'm like, yo, I got the job. I can paint my nails.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm going to all my Zoom calls with the painted nails, you know? But
now what are they going to do? Fire me?
Unfortunately, I signed them contracts and it didn't say anything about having my nails painted on Zoom.
But it's funny that you bring that up though, because I mean, since the rebrand, I just got a fresh manicure today.
Love it.
So,
it looks very nice. I'm actually jealous. Got to paint my nails now.
But like the thing that I kind of took into account with after the rebrand of the last year was, you know what, like, so I'm currently working full time in the service industry, again, but before I left Chicago, I was still personal training on the side, and I wouldn't paint my nails because I didn't want to. Like, I'm working in high-end gym, and it's not very common that you find a personal trainer who's also like an emo kid. So like I purposely wouldn't paint my nails, and then after I came back out here, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna just be me and be myself, and I still get weird looks from people when I'm in the restaurant because it's like a high-end like Japanese house.
Oh, okay.
It's like a sushi spot. So like there are people who are like, that's kind of a strange look, and I look back at them and I go, yes, it is. Do you like it or no? Like it's not going anywhere. But
like this is the real statement to make as I'm serving you your food.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And at some point, like, I mean, I have tattoos, and I look the way that I look, and at some point since I moved out here, I just gave up on the fact of I don't care what you think. Like, this is me. This is what I'm going to do. And if nail polish ruins your day, that sucks. Like, that sucks for you.
Like,
that's
wow,
really on them.
That's crazy. that's your biggest problem, inconvenience in life.
Yeah. I would get a lot of that shit.
Where's your nail polish, Brian?
I'm good. I'm putting it on. I'm just being lazy. And more lazy
you want
than
some
concerned.
Sparkles? I have a bunch of sparkles.
Relax. No, I like only matte. I'm matte matte colors on everything. Which is another reason I got it, because they had a you could get like 3 for a discount, and I got a matte overcoat. So I was like, yeah, this is gonna be just fine, just fine. I got like a lot of shit back in the day when it was like, you know, it was like EDM and shit, and I'm still dressing and looking like an emo kid, and no one knows what the fuck I'm doing, and I'm working at a store with a bunch of like older, richer people coming in, and like they would say like, yeah, I don't want to be helped by that guy, like let anybody else in here help me, but I want to be helped by that guy. And like I had no tattoos at the time. I think I only had 1 lip piercing left in, and like I'm like, I don't feel like I look that odd. I guess my hair was long, but I'm like, I'm really glad that we just like got out of that whole phase where it's like tattoos make you like a weirdo, or like I don't want to work with that guy. I don't want to talk to that guy. Like, he's got tattoos. He's going to say something weird to me and make me feel uncomfortable. And it's like, your whole day is based on what like artwork I put on my skin. It's kind of strange.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I can't believe that guy wore that t-shirt. Fuck that guy.
I trust someone who is tattooed over someone who is not.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, I'm not tattooed. I'm so sorry.
We don't
you
trust
don't have any tattoos?
No, I have a severe fear of needles, and I also live at home with my parents who don't like tattoos. So it's a little bit like a respect thing, but also I'm terrified, and I need to be physically restrained whenever I get shots or blood taken.
Okay, no, this is sounding real horror movie.
That's fair. I don't like needles either. I also hate getting tattooed.
Yeah, it's the worst fucking thing you can do. It's awesome.
And I tell that to people all the time. They're like, well, you have a sleeve. Okay. And it's like, just because I have a sleeve doesn't mean that I can't not hate tattoos.
Yeah, it's like, it doesn't mean that it fucking hurts.
That's why I went with American Traditional, because you kind of get it like piece by piece. Because I can only sit for like 2.5 hours max.
Yep.
Like, I sit like a bitch. So if you're a tattoo artist and you're out there and this comes across your way, sorry.
Maybe it's a challenge for them now. They're going to be like, no, come to my chair. You won't be. And you're going to be like, bet.
Well, I'm trying to get my chest done when I get home from LA. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. It's like all the like, oh, I can definitely do that. And then you're there and you're like, what the fuck? Why did I do this?
Yeah, why did I do it? Yeah.
I didn't have to do this. We are almost at an hour, so I want to give you another chance here to drop them plugs.
So fast.
I know. Yeah. I know. Look, when the vibes are on, the vibes are on, and we're not going to stop it.
Vibes
you know.
On. Let them fly.
Yeah, toss out where everybody can listen to the song. Which by the time this is a podcast available on the podcasting apps, it will be available. So where can they listen to it right now?
The song?
Yeah. And the video, I guess, too.
And the video. Oh, here's my chance. I'm biffing it. Cool.
We'll edit around.
If you won't push me off this ledge, I'll probably jump anyways. We'll be dropping this Saturday, May 28th, on all streaming platforms that I am currently aware of. I know they make new ones by the day, but Spotify, you know, that's the big guy. Apple Music, Amazon, SoundCloud, Deezer. I think Tidal might be on there as well. But the music video will be dropping on my YouTube channel. All of my social links are going to be at CRLO with a _. You can find me on Spotify, Apple Music, Zanga, MySpace,
Fuck yeah.
Christian Mingle.
Yes.
Okay. Farmers only?
All my socials. Yeah, farmers only, blackpeoplemeet.com.
Oh my God.
I think that my marketing agent's done a good job. CRLO on all of my platforms. Check it out. Music video and single will be dropping this Saturday, May 28th. Again, if you are going through any kind of mental health, depression, anxiety, whatever the case may be, just know that you are not alone. You can win this fight, and you will get through it.
You heard it here. If you're listening, got to get to 20,000 followers on TikTok. And
yeah, let's get to 20K on TikTok.
Yep.
I'll say, 20K for the song, too. 20K for the song on Spotify.
Yeah, come on, guys.
20K
don't
for the views
here.
on YouTube. Let's just get 20Ks across the board,
Tuesday.
Yeah.
If we can get to 20K by Saturday, I'd be elated.
Let's do it. 20K on everything. Just dropping 20Ks across the board.
Yeah,
I don't know
if
that's
funny, 20K, finance
Use
my
TikTok
next
stories.
Yeah.
And say, follow over 20K or you're a coward.
Yeah.
That'll get them to follow.
Yeah, 20K on TikTok. We'll be talking about dad shoes and Pierce the Veil and all that good stuff that we talked about. It'll be on the story for a recap. So
there's one thing to take away from this episode. It's Pierce the Veil.
Yeah, it's Pierce the Veil. And Bangovers.
Yeah, and Bangovers. Don't forget about the Bangovers.
Yeah.
Taking way too much stuff out of this episode. So go listen to the song. Go follow Carlo on everything. And, I can't wait for when we have you on for the third time because just always a good time hanging out with you.
Likewise. I'll see you guys in a year, I think. Right?
Maybe.
We're booking it out now. We'll just send you our schedule.
Yeah, right now. Put it on the calendar.
Yeah.
Do you have that year mark yet or no?
I don't know. It might be a year. It's all been
in like September.
Yeah.
September or like October of last year.
It's a flat. It's a flat.
Yeah, we don't know anymore.
Time isn't real. It's incorporated into our third dimensions
fake.
now. Yeah. Social construct like money or
no.
Yeah. Money isn't real. Taxes aren't real. Neither is time.
I always have to restrain myself from telling my students that money isn't real. And I'm like, I'm about to piss off half of this class right now if I say that.
It's make-believe.
We're going to move over to Twitch to talk about that. So if you're missing this on Twitch, you can't talk to us about how money isn't real and give us your thoughts on that. And I don't care
and
anyway.
How age is real for Brian only.
Yep. Well, okay. But
no, for everybody.
Also, I think that there's reasons that anyway, we'll be over on Twitch and you should always join us there. But again, Carlo, thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Of course, of course. Thank you guys for having me again, and hopefully I might see you guys in the for round 3.
Yes.